Interesting week, huh?
We're back.
We're back. I want to give a half-cocked, mile-high salute to Jude Bellingham for trying to accommodate his mascot by putting his coat over top of him. As you saw, he was handicapped. But guys, what's the one thing you don't do when you give your coat to somebody that's been rained on?
Put the rain side toward him.
Are you like seriously? The
kinda
one thing I ask of you is to give it to me dry, right?
Like you're
Right?
trying to keep me dry, and now you're just like soaking me. Like thanks.
Thanks.
It's not hard. It's really not. And guess who's getting all the hype? Guess who's getting all the hype for this? Is Jude. Jude's getting all the hype, but guess who already gave his fucking coat over to the mascot beforehand and wasn't getting no pub for it? Fucking Phil Foden.
Phil. Look what you've done. Welcome to the Snobby Boys.
You are now tuned into the Snobby Boy podcast.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Snobby Boy podcast. My name is Colby. Those are my homeboys over there. That's Joe and Kyle. Pretty big episode for you guys. I know I say that every week, but it usually ends up being that way. But before we get too far, make sure that you hit the like, subscribe, and the notification. And make sure to follow us on all social medias at SnobbyPod. Also, if you're here on YouTube, as you can already see, you can find us just by typing in Snobby Boys Podcast. So, let's talk about what we're going to be covering in this episode. First and foremost, we're going to talk about our international injuries. Those always seem to happen, don't they?
Hit the brake. That's why I hit the brake.
I think this, hopefully, probably not, but hopefully, is the last time we have this name in our fucking mouth. Cancelo. We're going to be talking about some of the talks that have been going on in the mill. Also, we're going to talk a little bit outside of our team. We're going to talk about Mauricio Pochettino. Pochettino's woes. Pochettino's woes at Chelsea in this most recent match they had. Then we're going to do a brief little recap Joe's going to give to us on the ladies' win over Liverpool. And then we're also obviously going to be talking about Arsenal. And the big thing of this match was Anthony Taylor, the big game referee.
I mean, he was a big game referee, I guess.
Bollocks. Before we go into that, throw up our little t-shirt ad. Make sure that you guys get into the store. We are still doing our 15% off with the code SnobbyAF to get 15% off of your purchase. The only one that doesn't apply to is the If You Hate Man United shirt. Sorry, that's just the way the company said it. I don't know what to do. But nonetheless, those are up for 15% off with that code through tonight. And I think, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and extend that through the Easter weekend and make that a Easter special. So if you guys want to get in there, bonfire.com / hold on, I'll bring out the banner again. /store / snobby-store and enter code SnobbyAF for 15% off. All right. So, first things first. International duty injuries and the problems that they always seem to bring. We had at 1.6 players possibly not starting for this matchup. We luckily lucked out on this one. The journos were a little too excited when they saw that, I think. We only ended up with Stones and Kyle Walker out, so I could probably take that as a win.
Well, and Stonesy was still on the bench, so there's that.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Kyle, we need him back for Real. We need him back for Real.
Simply for Vinny. Because I think we all can tell that Akanji cannot cover those grounds, and Rico Lewis ain't going to do it either. I mean, I love Rico.
Can, but he's just that takes away from Rico's real ability.
Exactly, and we saw that very evident today in the Arsenal match. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Joe, you had something to say about something outside of the team as well. What's the scoop, bro?
Yeah, one of the big news points for this week was Xabi Alonso saying he's going to stay for one more year at least with Bayern Leverkusen. So he's not going anywhere. Last I checked, and there's a receipts all over the internet, all you Liverpool Scouser ass motherfuckers were saying, oh, Xabi's coming to us. He's the best manager out there that we could possibly get. And now that he's decided to stay, all of a sudden, the narrative is getting tweaked a little bit. We love this guy at Sporting Lisbon. He's the guy we need. We never really needed Xabi Alonso. You guys are full of shit, and the receipts are everywhere. Y'all ain't shit. We see through all of that BS because we've seen you posting about how much you want him. Sorry, not sorry.
Literally.
Y'all are not going to sit here and twist the narrative. Media folks, too, who are also Liverpool fans. Y'all ain't slick. We know it's on video. No. You can't delete that shit. No.
Receipts. Although I will say, addendum, we were kind of, I know me personally, I was like, hey, where's he going? If he's going anywhere, it's fucking Liverpool.
Probably Liverpool.
But
right.
Motherfucker was like, I'm not leaving. So,
right.
Not fucking leaving.
He went full Wolf of Wall Street on him.
Like, if you leave after you take Leverkusen to the title, how big a piece of shit are you?
Kind of. You just build up that whole fan base's hopes to then just shatter them next season. That's fucked. And I'm gonna have to say, props to Xabi for doing this because obviously we've seen this storyline play out hundreds of millions of times where great coaches leave the Bundesliga and go on to bigger, better things.
Premier League.
Right.
Because let's be honest, they're all farmers outside of the PL.
Well, and especially the Italian league and the French league at this point. It's
all farmers.
It is. But I have to say that I like that there is a little bit more of a race in the Bundesliga than there has been in the last several decades. Let's be honest.
Leverkusen's been up there, but never.
They have, but they're never. It's always been Dortmund, Bayern. A Red Bull.
A 10-point gap, and still a 10-point gap.
It's 13, right? It's 13 right now.
Well,
after the Dortmund win in Der Klassiker.
Der Klassiker.
Yes. Yeah. So
I love saying
Tuchel pretty much admitted defeat and waved the white flag, saying that congratulations to Leverkusen for winning the damn league. So now it's it's wild to me because it's been the Bayern Invitational for so long. So I'm very glad that another team is taking it, and I don't feel bad for Harry Kane, but I kind of feel bad for Harry Kane because he was going there.
You take a club that wins the league every year, basically, and you still can't win a trophy.
He's not getting any trophies. They're not going to win the Champions League, and they've already lost the
massive
competition.
Massive.
Is he the problem? Is he the problem? I don't know.
Massive blemish on TT's fucking resume forever.
And that's actually Tuchel. That we've already seen the arguments that Tuchel could be out, and if they walk out of this season without a single trophy,
he got to go.
He's got to go.
Has to go.
Who do they bring?
Bayern, what are you doing?
I don't want to even.
You left.
Well, we could go on to the spectacle. That was the dumbest fucking firing that I've ever seen.
So y'all,
there's hope and promise hope and promise in this young coach to potentially do good things for your club, and you say, wank it? No, dude, you fucked up. You fumbled the fucking bag. Up. You fumbled the bag on that one.
You took a guy who couldn't take Chelsea to shit.
No. And it was very evident.
I mean,
very quickly.
He beat us in the Champions League, right?
Okay.
But
and then,
yeah,
right.
I mean, ever since
we're all
can't say we don't watch other shit.
We're talking about one-offs, like Champions League. That once you get into that's one-offs. If you can actually win a league title, to me, that's the real representation of a proper coach. And because otherwise you're just a fucking you're not a real manager to me. It's like Tottenham. Like if you can win a tiny trophy, but not the league, although they don't win anything. I'm not calling Champions League a tiny trophy, by the way.
It's not.
It's just laughable that they're a tournament trophy. They're a tournament club. He's a tournament manager. He's not a league manager. And every manager should start out as a league manager and then be a tournament manager, in my opinion.
Hot take, real quick. Could you see TT taking over for Southgate as the England national team manager?
I hope not, because
I hope not either. It was just a wild thought, really. But I mean, I definitely don't want that happening.
That might be his cup of tea going forward, because he's not getting another big club going at this point. Yeah. So if he wants something different, maybe that's his maneuver. Is I'm good at tournaments. I'm good at this kind of like one-off situations. Maybe I go to a national team. Maybe not England, but But also
Spain or Italy, I could easily see him going to Spain or Italy and doing well even.
Wow.
Kyle, you had mentioned something laughable about that. Something else quite laughable is Mr. Joao Cancelo. What do you think about that guy?
Well, so obviously, I mean, we're trying to minimize the amount that we talk about this fucking piece of shit at this point, right? But,
right.
Reports are coming out that Saudi interest is out there. And all I'm going to say is, if that's true, fucking pay the money and take him off our goddamn hands. We don't want this piece of shit anymore. Fuck.
We'll take all that money. Yes, please.
Dude.
Yeah.
Joao Cancelo.
Like 15, 20 mil at this point. Just go. Just fucking go.
Joao Cancelo is like Stacy in Wayne's World. What am I going to do with a gun rack?
I mean, that's a reference for...
Excuse me?
The viewers that... You gotta be a certain age. Not. But I like it. But yeah, it's just I'm so tired of him. And once they go to the Saudi League, it's almost like we don't have to listen to anymore. So that's what I'm saying. Just
almost. But you do realize that he will not be the first nor the last player that has bitched about living in Saudi, even though there's a massive money bag sitting at their feet.
Yeah.
I mean Laporte's already said he wants out. Ronaldo already wants out. Messi didn't go for a good goddamn reason. Let's be real.
Wouldn't you rather live in Miami? I'm sorry. But
I mean, is it not almost the same place? One is tropical, one is desert.
And you're allowed to drink.
Wait. Right, I was going to say, tits are allowed in Miami, where in Saudi Arabia, you got to cover all that shit.
Not allowed. Tits are out. I'm sorry. Right. I don't mean to be like that. I appreciate all of our women supporters and our fans and your breasts. We love everybody equally.
Get out of here. Oh my God.
Jesus, this is what happens when we all before the fucking show, by the way, to our listeners and whatnot. This is what happens when we all have multiple beverages pre-show.
Happy holidays, by the way. I forgot to say Happy Easter.
He has risen, or whatever.
However you celebrate is great. Enjoy your day.
Happy pagan holiday.
You know what's right? You know what's really funny? No, I'm not even going to go on that. We'll have this discussion outside of this realm because it has nothing to do with football.
It's not even, but yeah.
I digress.
We're in agreement on that.
One
Kyle,
thing, right?
Yeah, you had another hot take on Mr. Pochettino. What's he smoking?
What the fuck is this motherfucker smoking? So, okay, I don't know if you guys saw like his presser afterward, but he's saying, well, if you look at the data, we should be in 4th place.
What?
Yeah. What? What data? What data okay, so because you're trying to bring up young players, good for you. Hey, by all means, that's a great place to start at. But guess what? You're still fucking 11th. So who gives a shit what you're saying? And the truth is, no. You still have fucking one of the best wingers to ever play the game. If you ask me, Raheem Sterling is that. He's shown it in multiple clubs. He's a great fucking winger. Oh, right. And you fuck him off all the time and give him a fucking place kick that he fucks off so hard it's ridiculous. It's like me using my left foot, like the outside of my. Oh my god! Like it's so fucking awful.
Those are points in rugby. He can go to Australia.
Cheers. Yeah, exactly. Australian football. I don't know what the rules are of Australian football, but I feel like that might be a point. But yeah, like it's
all you have to do is have someone to catch it.
Is that the data he's talking about? I don't fucking know, because really, what the fuck what are you talking about? What do you even mean to even say that you have a right to be close to Champions League qualification? Because nothing has shown that you should be, except for your occasional highlights of wins against teams that are better than you, clearly across the board.
His uppers sprinkled some shit on top of a statement and said this.
And I just want to never mind. I'm not going to say this.
What metrics could he possibly have?
Exactly.
None of them.
None
of them.
Like the
none of them support that statement.
Data is so hilarious.
And your fans, who are pretty fucking realistic about where they're at, don't even agree with you. Most times you say shit like that, and their fans are like, yeah. No, all of Chelsea fans I know are checked out this fucking season because they're so annoyed with just the way things have gone, be it fault of players or coach or just shitty luck, whatever it is. Most of them are totally understandable where they're at in the table and are just let's get to the off season so we can regroup. So get the fuck out of here with that.
Former guest that we had on here, Jack Waters, Chelsea fan. He in our episode, because I believe I asked him this question about where he felt Poch needed to go after the end of the season. And he was very adamant on the fact that he wants him to stay and he wants to see what a full year can do with all the players that they have. As of today, on his story, he said Poch out now.
Wow.
Strong.
It's very strong. So, whatever the rhetoric may be, they might be taking it all in stride and realizing what the fuck's going on, but that's not to say that there aren't some of these fans who are hella pissed at what's going on.
Yeah.
So, it's that club, for as much money as Todd Bowley and whatever fucking conglomerate that has been forking the bill over top of his 15%, they don't know what the fuck they're doing really yet. And now it's becoming more and more evident as the weeks go on. I feel really bad for Chelsea, but buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride, guys, because there ain't much out there in the coaching market.
My favorite thing is that, Chelsea has spent so much fucking money, right? Because they're kind of banking on this potential to be in European football in some way, right? Because that's added money. But they're not going to be in European football. There's no fucking way. Okay, I'm not going to say that. There are ways that they potentially could end up in European football for this season.
Highly
I'm just
unlikely.
saying, odds are very against.
If 5 teams tank,
and they have to potentially, if that does not happen, they have to sell like 7-8 players before June 30th to meet like numbers. And and at that point, are we saying like Boley? Like,
well, we already know that like Thiago Silva is out. He's gone after the season. There's no room for him at this point. Disasi, is that how you say Disasi? Whatever. Yeah, Diassi, yes. He's really filled in. And Gusto, I mean, granted he plays more of a wing back, but they've really filled in back there. And well, I mean, and you're the old guy. Time to go. Simple as that.
As much as they love you, it's time to go, brother.
Yeah, it's time to go. And there's a few others. You know what? Mudryk didn't have such a bad game, but Homeboy is probably one of the worst floppers I think I've ever seen in my life.
No.
You don't think that was a flop?
Oh, I'm not saying that.
To
put him up on the level of Mohamed Salah. He's
okay. Well, no. Okay. All right. I retract my statement. I'm just saying. I retract my statement. Joe, before we get into Arsenal, send us with this. I don't want to call them that. Somebody else does.
The ladies.
The ladies. Let's talk about that city, ladies.
They were away to Liverpool, and unlike our gentlemen, they put a whooping on the Liverpool ladies away, which was great to see. Which is kind of to be expected. Liverpool was on a good run of form recently, but nobody is as hot as City in the women's league right now. Watching the match, the first 15 minutes or so were more so Liverpool having their way than us. And then in an 8-minute span, that changed very quickly with Lauren Hemp, Jess Park, and Khadijah Shaw, Miss Bunny on Easter Sunday, Easter weekend, hitting an absolute fucking golazo that any male keeper would have not been able to keep out. She hit that fucking rocket into the upper 90, like a 6'6" keeper.
Top bins, baby.
Not stopping that. She rocketed that joint. So. And then she struck again on the other side of half early on to really put the tie away. It was 4-0 at that point. And it's wild to watch the City women play because they play exactly like we do on the men's side. They dominate possession. They look to exploit the small spaces and move the ball along quickly. It's so fun to watch how Pep's influence has spread throughout the club from men, women, and then all the way down. Yes, 100%. So it was awesome. They conceded, unfortunately, late on. They needed the goal differential to really get up there because Chelsea at the time had like a 2 or 3 goal differential, and we were tied on points. So getting a really crooked number would have been really nice. So conceding that late goal was tough. Kiara Keating is fucking phenomenal. She got a hand on an upper 90 ball, and unfortunately she tipped it. It went off the crossbar, and then when it deflected, it like caught her legs as she was continuing her dive and trickled back in. So it was really unlucky. Great hit from the Liverpool lady, but man, it was fun to watch and really happy that they came away with a big win. They're sitting at the top of the WSL right now, and
let's go.
Chelsea, with a match in hand or extra match played over the Chelsea ladies, but they have a 1-goal lead in the goal differential, so that's a good thing going forward. They just need to keep getting these wins and keep putting big numbers up because that might be what changes or ultimately decides the ladies title, which would be great to wrestle that away from Chelsea because we have finished second to them. We finished second to them the last few years. So great job, ladies. Bunny Shaw continuing to be a dominant force on the ladies' side.
Insane, man. Like if like women's Ballon, like if it's not her, who? If it's not her, who? You know? Fuck, man. Like what else can she do to win it? Like I'm sorry. I'm just sorry.
You're good. Listen, I want to know how often Gareth Taylor and Pep sit down and have lunch.
Right.
all the fucking. I think
they have to do it often because they play very much like we do. So that's definitely also. I also want to know that question. That's a great question.
But if you were Gareth Taylor, wouldn't you be like, this
as
dude's
often
over
as possible?
There, like, let me go fucking talk to him.
Yeah,
like
I'm pretty sure he went to. Pretty sure he went to Pep's assistant and was like, "Hey, listen, put me on the books once a week.
Let me get 15 with him, like whenever.
Can you book me Wednesday lunches? I think that's best.
Whatever is good for him.
Right.
I will be there.
I'll take up any time he can give me. Like, I'm just a little simple, and I just want to
book me a round of golf with Pep because we know Pep loves to go to golf. So
right. Hey, listen, he can bring him right down here to the Carolinas where I'm at right now.
One of my
great golfing down here
about Pep is when he talks about Ryder Cup. Like that's like, because that's actually one of the coolest things in golf to me. And anyway, moving on.
That in Augusta. Racist
fucks.
I mean, let's put that aside and just give credit to the fact that that's a really hard course to play. Like, if you didn't grow up playing Tiger Woods golf,
well, let them play it and we can talk more.
Fucking love those games.
Well, love how you always like to make things dark and negative. It's awesome.
I'm just saying, it's step it up, Augusta. It's
anyways,
not 1945 anymore.
Anyways,
Joe's just in the middle here.
Fuck's sake. Anyways, Arsenal.
What? Arsenal.
Arsenal. Well, let's start here first. And I didn't put our predicted 11 in here. We went 8 of 11 this week. The switches that we did not have were Ortega was in goal. Kova actually started over what I believe we had Jules, and then Bernie started as well.
I can't believe Jules didn't play,
over Jack.
Honestly.
Over Jack, yeah. Right out the fucking gate was Gabby playing at Salty. Was he out to prove something? Was there an agenda?
That dude had a chip on his fucking shoulder from the moment Anthony Taylor blew his punk ass whistle. That dude was trying to foul people. He should have had a yellow card within 3 minutes, and you could tell he was in the fucking mood to be feisty as shit. And it has to be because he was back in his old home with a crowd and with players he knows, and with a crowd that, to their credit at the end, clapped him off when he was being a little bitch most of the game. Mm-hmm. And they still clapped him off. So kudos to our home fans for that. But he was 100% playing with a damn chip on his shoulder. He should have had a yellow very early on for a challenge from behind on the way to the box.
Down, like, that's a yellow. I'm sorry. It's literally definition yellow.
So he 100% had a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, no.
And it wasn't just one player either that he was engaging with. He was like, it was whoever came in his space, he was looking to be fucking chippy with.
I sat that whole match that he was on the pitch, and I was just like, what? Like, are you just trying to disrespect people who loved you for years? Like, is that what's going on? Because that's how it feels. Like, it's literally like everything you're doing is just shitty. And like, you're not even like respecting the players that were kind to you when you were here. Like, you're just being shitty. And like,
bite your nose to spite your face, bro.
Man, I have such a problem with that shit. Like,
yeah, I think everybody does. I mean,
we've all played sports. We've all been and like we've all played with people who we've played with people, and then we're playing against them, and we sit there and we're like, yeah, okay, in the game, I'm gonna fucking bump you or whatever. We're playing a game, but I'm not gonna be shitty to you. And he was shitty, and it was just like, I didn't like it at all.
I didn't really understand it either.
He ran off his mouth a bit too much.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I'm saying, like, he's another one that I would have been like button up to him a little bit and,
yeah,
one of those.
And it's not like any of our players, coaching staff, front office, any fans, even nobody even has ever said a bad word about the dude since he's left. we've all been very supportive of him, even though he's playing against one of our rivals. So I didn't really understand his attitude from the get-go, and then carried over throughout the game. So I don't get where the irritation or frustration or anger towards the City players and just City in general was coming from with him. So that just didn't make any sense.
Well, again, like you said, like the club as a whole has been still like him not being here. We've still been like, dude, you are still one of us. We get it, but like you still wore the badge. You still won a lot of shit for us. You still helped us win a lot of shit, and we appreciate you. And that's like you're saying, we clapped him off. And for us to clap him off when he was being a fucking cunt the whole game, like
who's the class? Who's classier at the end of the day? I'm just saying.
Not London, I'll tell you that.
No, listen. There was an agenda for this game, and I think it started somewhere between Arteta and Taylor, and I don't know if it was colluding. I'm not going to go into that much of an assessment and make it out to be something that it may have may not been. But however, as we've covered right in this little segment, he went out of his way, him alone, understanding that if he picks up a said yellow, which Anthony was not so willing to give out today, I don't know. It's just there's something in the water here for this match. Through the first 15, we played really well, mainly in Arsenal's half. Going in through the match, I mean, Akanji, I will say this: Akanji had his ball skills have improved so fucking much. And just the weeks that just the weeks that we've been saying it, he has week by week, excluding the international break, has consistently gotten better, and it's too hard not to take notice of.
Very more confidently too, which you can tell.
Yeah, strengthen the ball. Strengthen the ball.
Yeah. Ake picks up his knock. Rico comes on. Switched on, by the way.
He was ready to go from the jump.
Exactly. And I do want to like pause on that because like
I do
think that like it's yes, I mean that's what we're bringing them up for. That's what we call on. Like that's what we want from every single player. But that's not what you can always expect. I mean, you can't expect every player to be called on cold, especially early, and jump on and fucking do their shit. And we have seen that from Rico day in, day out, every time he's called on. And dude, he's fucking 19.
Right.
Like, what?
Well, and
flowers. Flowers.
So when we were building our predicted lineup this week, Kyle actually had Rico starting, which me and Joe kind of voted out because we felt it was going to go the other way, considering a few other things. But honestly, if he would have gotten the start today, I would have been happy with it because, again, his engagement, his placement, being in the right places at the right time, understanding his role between switching from the back line to the midfield, he looked veteran. He looked like he knew what the fuck he was doing. And that's really what we need going forward because we're going to have coming into this off season, we're going to have a lot of questions at the midfield. Do we bring Rico up?
29, not 19.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
He's in his prime years. By what it looks, 26, 29.
Exactly.
And just saying that and knowing that he's only 19, 20 years old and he's got a contract with us for the next 8 years, like, it's really exciting shit. But
can you guys think of a game that he's played that he's been poor in?
I mean, poor is not the way I'd call it, but he's been like just
tell you,
he's defensively off and things like that.
I'll tell you, I think the poorest performance I've seen from him since the moment we all first saw him with first team was in Green Bay. That may have been his quote unquote worst performance because of how fresh he was. First time being with the first team, really getting his legs about him. But like, even in me saying that, I didn't feel like, oh my god, I need to get this guy off the field. He's not really doing anything for us. Even Josh Wilson S-Brand, like he did a very very good job in that match. But that's beside the point. He's off on loan. Rico's here, and look at his body of work already. I mean, it's just like, and the ceiling, we don't even see it right now.
I can't think of a time where he's been a detriment to the team.
No, he's never put the team in a hole once.
See,
he's played well.
I'll disagree. I can't think of the specific matches, but like I've definitely seen him because again, like my main issue with him is sometimes that he just doesn't go back into the line to defend, or like he doesn't get that rotation properly. He stays too much in the mid. And that's fine. I like him in there, but like you can clearly see that now he's figuring that out. And he's figuring out that like because it was so fluid today. Like particularly like you saw him like easily right back into the line and then easily right back into the mid, like boom, 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 boom. And it was beautiful. It was like watching again, like a veteran fucking player. And like 19, man.
Yeah, Kyle.
I mean, he's not going to win headers for us, but like,
and that's okay. We got other guys for that,
right?
And to kind of go along with what you were saying with that fluidity with Rico knowing when to track back and when to get there, even without Kyle's speed and amazing recovery runs today, I felt like anytime Arsenal countered and had any kind of real attack going forward, we as a group, it wasn't just like one or two people, everybody was able to recover, track back, and get back behind the ball quickly to kind of snuff out any of their counterattacks, because that was clearly their game plan. We're going to sit everybody behind the ball, wait for a mistake from City on a pass, and then pounce on the counterattack. That was literally the only game plan they had, which is, we'll talk more later about this, pathetic for a alleged top 3 club. But for Rico and the rest of the back line, I was very impressed with how quickly they transitioned from we lost the ball, let's get back and recover. And I'm just really happy that they didn't concede a cheapy kind of goal, which we've had in the past by not doing that. They snuffed out every opportunity that they could by getting back in numbers and defending well. So I was really happy to see that.
Did you just say snuffed?
Snuffed out.
I'm pretty sure there was a shh.
I'm pretty sure there was a schlitz in front of that.
Snuffed out. I was putting emphasis on the syllable.
Hey, but no, I think that's the biggest thing that we actually hit on. And I mean, yes, our attack could have been better, yada yada yada, but defensively, I mean, realistically, defensively, both clubs were perfect, except for one club was playing attacking, and one club was actually
holding,
parking that goddamn bus.
Right.
And like Jose Mourinho should have been managing that instead of fucking Arteta. Like it looked, it was so disheartening to see a club that has such attacking ability, and then to even throw on additional
more
attackers.
Defensive.
Like you're throwing, Martinelli on. Like what the fuck?
Right.
Like you're obviously trying to add speed, but you're just gonna sit back still, and it's like
it was disgraceful. Let's call it what it is.
Do you want to win?
No, they didn't. They didn't want to win. They just wanted a draw. That's all they wanted, which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You're a club that scored 35 goals in the new year. You guys have been putting in goals left and right against all competition, and now you want to play fucking defensive football? That's mid-table club mentality from a club that's allegedly
at best mid-table.
Allegedly a fucking big club that's got aspirations to win trophies. You don't win trophies. I don't care what anybody says. You do not win trophies by playing passive fucking football anymore. You don't. So no.
Anymore is probably because Jose would.
Yeah, that's why I said anymore. Exactly, because that Jose ball doesn't work anymore. It might work in one match, but it's not going to win you a title, a league title.
It's not going to win you a tournament. Yeah.
Or a league. It's not. It's just not.
Exactly.
You have to go
it's definitely not going to win you a league. It's never going to win you a league.
Not when you're playing against Liverpool and City. Arsenal, you have best are finishing third because of this match.
Yeah. And Liverpool might actually take the title because of this match.
It's going to be Liverpool or City. It's not going to be Arsenal.
I'm going to put this down right now and say, depending on the match of Liverpool and Tottenham is the game.
Liverpool still got some difficult matchups. So and here's the thing. If they win out, all you can do is tip your cap.
Exactly.
They were just better. And they won all their fucking matches.
It's a great fucking title run up. Like never, I mean, not never, but like what was it saying? Like in the stats, like it's been 30 or 40 years, since 3 teams have been this close this late in the season. Like it's a beautiful title run up. But
it's gonna be every match.
For one thing, Arsenal are gonna bottle it they've already bottled it. That's the way that is. Like they're done. But Liverpool, I swear to God, like I just really don't want Klopp to win anything this season. Like that's my goal, is for Klopp to have to walk away with
goose egg on the trophies.
Yes.
No trophies.
Oh my God. Like I will come all over this fucking screen.
Oh my God. Whoa, that escalated quickly. Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying.
I hope your children are not listening to tonight's episode, folks.
Right.
This is an 18 thing, I think.
All right.
On that note,
so we're gonna recap. We're gonna recap that first half real quick. So lots of possession, not much in the final third, minus Ake's header. City was patient instead of forcing things, which is great. Great recoveries, especially on
press.
Arsenal's. Yeah, great press. Up to this point, I mean, Anthony Taylor has just about let everything go. 8 fouls for Arsenal, 4 for us.
At least 3 of them 8 should have been yellows, at least.
Yeah, let's be real. So with that little recap there.
20 fucking fouls. 20 fouls. How is there not a single foul? Sorry. Yep. Let's go.
So with that, we're going to go to intermission real quick, and then we'll be back to finish up the second half and round it out with a couple of other topics that we have, and get with you guys in the comment section if you've got enough balls to do it. So here we go. And Kyle really had to pee.
I love that guy in the fucking fez every time that fucking video comes up.
In the Strider's hat.
I love it. I love it so much. It makes me so happy. It makes me so happy every time I watch it. The joy on his face is just beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Well, even the build up leading into it, it's like you know that feeling. I mean, I think all of us know that fucking feeling.
I remember
especially
that feeling.
Yeah. So rolling into the second half, I think that most of us thought that it was going to be, and I will quote our homies over the Kipax, second half City. Well, we could have been second half City. Could have been. Unfortunately, I think we've seen this with basically every team that we played this season. Right after the first half, going into the second, particularly in the first third of the second half, you'll start to see that low block or that bus parking starting.
10 men behind the game ball, behind midfield.
Jesus exactly.
Christ.
And this was no exception. Arteta definitely had this sitting in the bag. And I think if most of you guys know this fucking matchup, this was already going to happen. We already knew this was going to happen. So
I didn't think it was.
Oh, really?
It was. Well,
Really?
I mean, like,
Because
okay.
understand that they have the goal differential and they have scored copious amounts of goals compared to the rest of the league at this point, but they have not had a defensive matchup all year, and those numbers pad that.
I just thought I mean, like, I legitimately believed, naively probably, when he said, we're gonna come after him. We're gonna play our game.
And what was that?
They were going to do that.
What was that? It really felt like it was a mirror image, didn't it?
Attacking football, and not Jose Mourinho football. And
they even made it really easy for us to pass around their press. Their press was so half-assed. It was like, hey, I'm going to kind of jog over here and try to kind of give a little bit of token pressure, and then all we had to do was knock the ball around them. They did not chase the ball at all until it got into their final third.
And even when they did approach the ball, it was kind of like a soft defense on the ball. It was like a...
Oh, yeah. There was no intent at all from them. They were not trying to play football today.
It was depressing
at all.
And if I'm being honest. Because if they had been more open, granted, I think we probably would have destroyed them. And that's probably the tactic that I guarantee that Arteta was just like, we'll get a fucking run out of them, that kind of thing. We'll get a counter on them. That's all he could have been thinking, because otherwise there's nothing else that could have produced a win out of that game.
Yeah, and early on, Kova had a really nice shot. Just went a little wide right. Didn't get enough spin on it. Just missed a little bit on the technique, but I was really happy that he was finally taking a shot from outside the box. It seemed like in the first half we were trying to be too perfect at times and try to get a lane off, but sometimes you just need to put a fucking ball in the box from either out wide or around the 20-25 yard mark and just hope it bounces around, and sometimes it'll fall to your player. That shit happens all the time. And I thought in the first half, at least, especially, while we were patient, we were almost too patient at times, where not really one person was grabbing the game by the horns and saying, I'm going to go fucking win the game. Even in the build-up, guys were receiving the ball in space, and there was opportunities to turn and dribble at the Arsenal defenders with space in front of them, and they just laid it off to somebody else to just continue the movement. And you have to be brave, especially in the midfield. Kova, Rodri, Phil, Bernie, even you guys. Once you receive the ball there, you have to turn, square up, and your teammates have to let you know, like, you have time to turn and then make a decision. Do I dribble at somebody? Do I take the space that's in front of me? That didn't really happen too often, and I thought that was where our offensive game broke down throughout majority of the game. Early on in the second half too, with Rico coming into the midfield when we were in possession, that created a bit of a logjam because Kova he was almost playing as a left-sided center back at times. So you had him, you had Rodri and Rico all crowded in that space.
Sometimes
was drifting because that's his role. His job is to drift all over the place and pick up the ball and help where he sees fit. So I felt like early in the second half, it was noticeable that we didn't have options wide because Rico was tucking in, and that's when Kyle is in there. He's providing that width on the outside on the right, along with Josko on the left side, which opens up that space in the middle. But at the time, in the second half, that space was not there because we had so many guys in that area. And I made note saying, like, we might need to change that up. Kova probably needs to come off. If Rico is going to play in that space, it's redundant to have all three of those guys. And Rodri's certainly not coming off. So what we needed there was which eventually what happened was Kova came off, and we added some width and some wide guys in Jack and Doku.
I mean, there were times in that match where I saw their entire fucking lineup in a realm that's basically the width of the 16-yard box. Like, and that compact as well.
Yep.
Like if we and what we were doing wasn't changing what they were doing. Like we weren't trying to go wide to spread them out.
Mm-mm.
We were kept going in the middle, and it's like, well, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm sorry, this is where I was sitting. I was like, what go wide. They're very compact. Spread them out.
Right.
Instead of like trying to go into the center. All you're doing is feeding what they want. And
we've seen this before. We've seen this before throughout the season between the Premier League and Champions League, where these teams come out, try to low block, defend us, get compact, and we don't exploit the spaces on the wide as effectively as we should. I think bringing Jack and Doku on when we did was probably the best thing that could have happened right then. However, something going back a little bit, we only had from that Kova shot 2 chances all match.
I mean, our wingers should have paint on their boots all fucking match long. Our wingers have
really though.
That's period.
Well, and the one thing that I'll say is that specifically in this game, I was really impressed with how closely we were able to pass the ball, especially inside the box. A bit of the tiki-taka, if you will, but it didn't amount to nothing, especially with that Kova shot. There was I'm fully for him taking that shot. I think a lot of that pressure came in from hearing the crowd say shoot, knowing that we hadn't gotten much off at that point.
Yep.
There was room to make small chances and progressions forward to secure something rather than going for a basically Hail Mary from outside the 18-yard box. I love the effort. I hate what happened there because I saw something else happening. But going forward, bringing in Jack and Doku, it's really funny to me because, you look at where Jeremy Doku came in from with Ren, and he was predominantly on the left when he played with them. There was only a few chances I can remember that he actually played on the right. So having them come in and see him play on the right and be, I won't say effective, but divisive maybe would be the word for us in that to allow play to happen more on the left, especially with having Kyle Walker out. Kyle Walker being our pivot all season and having Manu Akanji man that, it's kind of scary. I mean, Manu's played really well, and it's not taking anything away from what I said earlier, but we don't have as much to play with if we don't have Kyle being able to kick out down to the corner. So
Kyle's understanding with Kevin and Phil and the other midfielders on when to make those overlapping runs and those diagonal runs. When they have to pick up the ball, he knows the timing and when he needs to make those runs in behind, and they know where he's going to be to play that ball. When he's not there,
correct.
We like you're saying, we lack that dangerous piece on the right side. Yoshko was fucking phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
He was.
My God.
His skill on the ball too. I want to say that. I want to have a note of like his skill on the ball, like his skill on the ball in the box. And now, like, I don't know if you noticed that one like sequence.
Three times.
Like, I mean, he shook and book. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was glorious to watch him on the ball. Like it was like watching a winger. And it was
his ability to cut in over into the central position, bring the ball back out from the box and be able to distribute from there. That was some of the best playing I've seen from a left back in blue for at least the last couple of seasons.
Who's actually a center back,
Zinni, right? Exactly. I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from Zinni, but all the same, like Yoshko is a whole other level of a player, and we're only seeing part of the bottle be uncapped and fizzing.
Right?
Yeah. I just
he's 21. He's 21.
Right.
What the fuck?
He's a baby still.
And the fact that we still have the room to move him centrally as an option is boom.
Holy shit. Not just on his left foot. That dude was using his right today, and it was just as good as his left. And he's a left-footed dominant player, and I was in awe of watching him
on his right.
Yeah,
so it's so good, and he was so helpful in the attack. But he he was equally as dominant going the other way, playing defense. Saka didn't do shit the entire game, who's probably their best player, and he pocketed that dude, just like Ake did in the last match against him.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do nothing because Joshko was pressing him so far backwards, they couldn't get out because he was so high, and Saka had to recover and play in that space. One, probably because Arteta told him to.
Saka's better than Phil Foden. Please tell me. Please.
I'm really sick of that fucking comparison.
Oh my god.
Dumb.
Okay. So
dumb.
While we're on comparisons.
No, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Chill out.
Okay.
Chill out.
I'll sit back.
All right. So
fucking heated on that one.
Well, we're gonna get there quickly. So just put your seatbelt on. Put a helmet on. Do something. I don't know. So at this point, the big thing that's probably circled around this entire match is Anthony Taylor's refereeing. At this point in the match, he has let so much shit go. At this very instance that we're talking about, he let 3 back-to-back fouls right in front of him. 3 right in front of him. Just brushed him off.
I also think
play on.
There were actually like 15 total called fouls against Arsenal.
Yeah.
How do you allow 15 fouls and the only things that you've pulled a fucking card for are rolling the ball away and time wasting?
On the keeper.
You never called another fucking, you never pulled a foul, or you never pulled a card on a foul. You never pulled a card on a foul the entire fucking match. How are you?
Go after him, King.
Keep
going. Keep going.
How are you a fucking real referee? You are endangering players by the way that you are officiating matches, and you should not be allowed to officiate matches because of that. And fuck off, Anthony Taylor.
That deserves an air horn.
Hate it.
2 air horns. 3 air horns. Yeah. Homeboy needs to go back to basics. Like, all right, I know that this can happen because I've taken some of these courses. You can go to fa.com right now, and you can get basic training courses on how to be a referee or coach. I think your boy needs to go back to the basics because some of these calls were just like my 7-year-old's getting these calls.
Well, okay, so there are like legitimate rules for yellow cards, right?
Right.
So a pullback, a pull on the arm, a pull of the shirt. These are actual yellow card offenses.
Right.
And we saw 10, 12 of those occur at least. I mean,
any body disruption in action to touch the ball or play the ball. And that happened literally all game.
All game.
I mean, Gabby right off the jump.
We're lucky that no one got hurt.
Yeah. I mean, Gabby right off the jump, like literally, like he pulled somebody to the ground. It doesn't matter who it was. It's the fact that he did it.
From behind.
Exactly. It's the fact that he did it. That should have set the tone for the game. But obviously, this is where I think that Anthony Taylor either has like a low-key contract with Fanatics or MGM or fucking DraftKings or who the fuck ever to throw some of these fucking games. I mean, is this not evident? Is this not evident in sports at this point? Between the Premier League, between the NFL, the MLB, the NBA, boxing.
Pay Vegas. Just pay Vegas.
Just pay them. Just give them all the money and say, we'll let you fucking piss all over us. Because that's what you're doing.
That's what you're doing.
It's tainting the game. It's fucking the game up for people. It needs to quit. Like, we see the shit happening, guys.
Well, with sports betting getting so big now, like, and so open, it's even more and more questionable as to what's fixed.
Right. Who's greasing your pockets?
I don't want to be that guy to say like, oh well, yeah, blah blah blah, fixed game,
No.
fixed game. But like,
the narratives are becoming too. They're becoming too finite to not be able to notice it.
When you see a guy like get like 8 rebounds in a basketball game in the third quarter and not make 9 rebounds,
right?
And then you look at the over/under is 8.5.
Right.
Interesting.
Exactly.
It's obvious as fuck as what's going on to me. And when people who are not like big sports people are watching games with me and they're saying, what the hell is going on with that? Like, that seems really suspicious. When people who aren't sports people are noticing that shit,
right,
that is pretty clear.
That's the biggest red flag ever.
Mm-hmm. And it's not lost on us that Liverpool won prior to this match and put them in pole position with the Premier League. And then all of a sudden, Anthony Taylor,
our match, nothing is called.
And to be fair, majority of them were Arsenal players doing shit to us, but I thought Bernie should have gotten a yellow when he chopped down somebody from behind, and Rodri probably earned one as well that weren't called. So he's clearly impacting the game. Pro City, negative City,
but the
just
like the future of the league.
Exactly. So it's very clear to me and to others who are not, like I said, I watch games with a lot of people who are not necessarily big soccer people, and they're like, what the fuck is going on with that referee? That doesn't seem right. What's going on here?
Right.
It's
lot of dodgy shit happening. And
it does, I mean, like, again, like, I hate to be like a conspiracy person, especially in that realm. But again, it's getting wider and wider as far as sports betting is going. Like, you know, hey, the only thing, in my opinion, that Trump ever did good for our country was open up sports betting. But
don't bring your politics here, please.
Cheers. I'm just gonna say that. Like, I'm glad that we have sports betting because I love betting on sports. And what I see in my sports betting, because I bet a lot, is that shit. That shit where it's like literally, or like, because, you know, if I'm betting on the Premier League and I bet on a certain amount of yellow cards or just cards in general, right? Like, I'll say, you know, 3 cards for this match. And the over-under is, like 2.5. And I'm just taking that over. And then you see it just sit at 1 and just sit at 1 and just sit at 1. And it's like, dude, I've seen fucking 15 tackles that could easily be fucking cards. Sorry, we're getting to a different realm, but I'm just saying we do have to fucking that should be like a little segment we do, I guess. Like, I mean, because that's a whole fucking thing.
Alrighty then.
So moving back into the game, Arsenal, obviously, we said they made some defensive changes and decided to park the bus on us. This seems to be, obviously, as I said, a recurring trend. It's not a sometimes, it's an every time. I honestly, dude, I've gotten to the point where I believe that is literally you showing your hand and saying, I'm too weak for this shit. So this is what I have to do in order to not let you score. Well, what is our objective now, or should be our objective now, considering that this is still the same repertoire of shit that we get week in and week out, and we're not able to break through? What are the key factors you think that we need to imply in order to break the bus?
So I've seen a lot of talk or surrounding kind of this topic where we're not clinical enough, we're not good enough going forward. Haaland is not good. We'll talk about that at the end. He's not a Premier League player according to some individuals that we'll talk about at the end. but trying to break down a well-organized Premier League club that's playing pretty much 2 banks of 5 is incredibly fucking difficult. It is not easy. And as great as City is, as awesome as the attacking talent is, it's not a simple thing. It doesn't mean just because we weren't able to do it, doesn't mean Holland's trash. It doesn't mean Phil and Kevin are bad. It doesn't mean Jack and Doku are awful. It just means it's fucking difficult. If you've ever been on the pitch, if you've ever coached, breaking down a well-organized defense like that, that's deciding to play in that manner, is fucking hard. And the only way to really get into that is to put in as many crosses into the box as you possibly can. Move the ball quicker. I think we were too slow today with moving the ball from side to side.
Just a touch.
We didn't hit any really long diagonal balls to really like make them have to shift and move, which would have then opened up some spaces in behind.
We didn't nail it. We didn't nail the touches and shit.
Yeah, exactly. We were, a touch off that slowed down the play. You have to be very, very, very precise when you're trying to break down a club who's deciding to play the way that the Arsenal did. So it's not easy. And just because City didn't do it here doesn't mean they're trash. So I hope our fan base, the stupid journos, can recognize that, because all it's going to say is, oh, how amazing was Arsenal defensively? No.
Again, all you have to look at is the fact that Arsenal played 28% possession. Like the entire fucking match, 28. Like you're a top 3 club and you played 28% possession. Like that just shows how much you don't believe in yourself, to me.
I rest my case. I rest my case right with that statement. Yeah. So at this point now, Gabby finally gets booked. Fuck's sake. Fuck's sake.
Sorry, but fuck, man.
Fuck's sake.
You're a City player, but you're a fucking piece of shit now.
Which soon led to him being sent off for what would be the ultimate game plan of bringing Martinelli on. Martinelli he was not the factor I thought he was going to be even in the game plan that they brought in for this. Considering what I said with, basically getting Gabby to get the yellow, to be able to allow him on, to give him some sort of chance at scoring. That didn't happen. Nice try, Arteta. Real quick too, after Jack came on, his form was actually pretty damn good, considering that he sat for his home club, his home team for England over the break. Hasn't really seen much action in the last couple months, really. But he came on and he showed us the Jack that we want to see, I think. There was one particular instance where he dragged it to the top corner of the box, and he had 2 defenders on him, and he split them with a pass over and through the middle. He showed sharpness today, and that's the one thing I'll give him. He was alert. He was sharp. He knew where to be. He knew how to be. He knew how to balance the pace with Doku, which is something you really need, especially considering that he's like Louis Mendoza from the Mighty Ducks, doesn't know how to quite stop yet.
Right.
Or,
by the way, that ball from Bardiol, I don't even remember that. The back corner that was like, to the moon, and then it's like, oh, Doku's right there.
Right.
It's like, cheers, guys. Good play. Good play.
Yeah.
That's about all we got, really. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
So we all know how this played out. This was a very mundane match all the way after 70 minutes. Roughly 75-25 possession for the good guys. We walked away with 1 point. That's in this title race that hurts, but it also doesn't at the same time, because it kept us there. We could have potentially pushed Arsenal out today a little bit if we would have gained those 3, but it's still going to be Right, but it's still going to be a tight race in through May. I mean, I honestly, this is as tight as in any sport that I've seen a race come down to at the end of the season, where you're all but a point or two off. I mean, the goal differential will make a difference when it needs to, but I've never seen a tighter race than this ever.
Well, and Liverpool aren't playing in as many matches now, so like honestly, like
there's that.
If I was to put money down right now, I'm just going to say Liverpool's going to win out, and that's that. I legitimately believe that, barring some beautiful piece of heavenly justice, Liverpool's going to win the league. Because again, they've lost out of Champions League, so that's kind of the biggest thing that, like, you know, the other ones of us that are actually battling in this, we're still in this battle. You know, we still have other matches to play that they don't, and because they're pieces of shit and fucking scouse cunts and fuck you Liverpool, and that's all I have to say about that. But like, yeah, that's.
I think you just
if Liverpool wins the league this season, it's because they lost out of the Champions League to me. Period. Period. If Liverpool was in the Champions League still, there's no fucking way they win the league.
Period. I'm sure we'll hear that story all summer if it in fact does play out that way.
And I stand by that shit. Fuck you, fucking scouse twats.
They do have a few matches still in the Europa League on Thursday nights, but not Wednesday night.
No one gives a shit about fucking Europa.
They do.
Just teeing you up.
Atalanta. Atalanta.
What?
Fuck off.
What?
That was me just teeing up Kyle for some more funsies.
Exactly. Fucking Atalanta is who we come on and fucking never mind. I'm sorry.
You said we come on Atalanta. That's
we come on Atalanta during fucking group stage. That's what I'm saying. We just throw city juices all over Atalanta.
We are losing control of this fucking podcast right now. Oh my god!
I'm over here making fat sounds.
I know. I can hear you. Jesus Christ! Oh my god!
I appreciate you backing me up. Okay.
So we're gonna take it to our final thoughts on the match.
Liverpool. That's what I'm saying. If you win it, especially, fuck you, Liverpool. You didn't deserve it. Anyway.
Again, we're gonna go to our final thoughts on the match. First and foremost, let's give a shout out to the home crowd. They were incredibly engaging, much better than they've been, rightfully so, for this match. So I'm very happy with that. Looks like
singing fucking Arsenal, like, I mean, because obviously, like, away fans, they had their shots. Like, you're always going to hear away fans like throw something in there here and there,
right?
But when they were doing it, you still heard fucking the faithful just overpowering, and it was glorious.
Yeah. Keeping Saka quiet was, I think, pretty vital for this match, and then obviously that going into Martinelli. Backline played immensely well. The attack stifled them for basically the whole match.
Fucking A, right. Like, if anything we did well, it was defensive.
One of the things that I think that everybody can agree on this year is that our set piece has been abysmal. It's not, with the amount of tall players that we have, we should be able to be dunking these things in, and we're not. So I just wonder if there's something a little off tone that maybe the set piece coach can throw into the mix.
I'm gonna hot take that and say Kevin's off, dude. Like,
well, he literally just came back on for now the fourth time this season.
And so why is he like put Phil on him?
We're not.
Because it's not like Phil doesn't have the fucking touch, dude.
No,
it's not like Phil doesn't know how to place a fucking ball on a cross. Like, why are we disrespecting Phil so hard that we're like, Kevin is the, I mean, don't get me wrong. Kevin is the god to me. Kevin is the god of football. Kevin is the best player in football, in world football to me. Period. Praise be.
His IQ is just
happy Easter, Kevin De Bruyne.
Right.
Like, but Kevin's off right now. So let somebody who's not fucking off take those fucking corners. Put those balls in. Let Kevin fucking find his fucking foot rhythm again. And let Phil take those corners for a little bit. That's my take.
I mean, I really always feel like that just comes down to where Pep's trust lies in that person, especially for that type of part of the game.
Again,
I mean, it's
Kevin.
just like,
so like, what are you going to say? Like, you're going to be like, fuck you, Kevin De Bruyne. Fuck you.
Well, no, you're not. But you're also not
Lionel Messi. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But you're exactly. And you're also not going to put on a 22-year-old kid in a very tight situation to either give us the goal or help us get one in. He's a good goal scorer. He's a good change of possession person. He's a great counterattack person. But
he's not going to affect the corner. So let him take the corner and actually, or let him try, like switch those people in and out.
If you've seen his role, if you've seen his role in the set piece from the corner, he's usually standing at the top of the 18-yard box, waiting on rebounds, basically. And that's where we really need him.
Plenty of people who can do that. We could have Doku out there. We could have all kinds of people sitting there waiting for a rebound.
We could.
Who aren't as good at crossing as fucking Phil Foden.
I would rather take my best on-ball ability person and have him in that position than have him kicking balls in.
Fucking 7 corners that are just fucking bullshit.
I mean, everything's going to come in time, dude. Everything's going to come in time.
Point.
We're not going to just this season.
Let him take until you're like, Phil, take one.
But we're not going to just all of a sudden this season say, "Hey, Phil, we're counting on you now." Like,
no, I'm not saying Phil, we're counting on you now. I'm saying Phil, we're counting on you for this one.
Well, make sure that he's good at what he's doing.
Hey, Phil, take this one. That's what I'm saying. From like, if I was Pep from the sideline, Phil's got this one, dude. Go sit tight on the fucking near post or whatever. Like that shit, you know?
I don't think we had 7 corners total. So it wasn't like we had double-digit numbers there.
That's still a lot of corners, though.
And I feel like I don't think all the balls were terrible. So I don't think I think it was a combination of maybe the ball not being perfect, we'll say that, but also it has to come down to the guys in the box being first to the ball. Like, you have to put some of that on the guys who are trying to get on the cross from a set piece. So it's I don't think it's just Phil. I don't think it's just Kevin. I don't think it's whoever's taking it. And to me, that's the problem with set pieces, is because we've had fucking guys in and out of the lineup and in and out of training so often all year long that you don't have an opportunity to work on said set pieces in training. And when we have had time with everybody available, we've seen fantastic fucking set pieces. We saw that one with Kevin playing Jules in like really sneakily. So set pieces, unfortunately, are a great way to fucking score, especially against a low block team. But oftentimes that comes with repetition in practice, and we just haven't had that with the collective group. So I hear what both of you guys are saying, and I think you're both have a little bit of rightness there. So it's not just like one thing, though. To me, I think
we're both saying the same thing, just like argumentative.
Yeah.
Yes. 100%.
Bit of a semantics thing.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Semantics is the word. It can't hurt to let Phil take one, but at the same time, towards the end, that's
right, just differently.
Just differently. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's because you're passionate about the fucking club, and I love that.
That's right. That's right. So let's get the meat of the week for this match.
This is a naughty episode.
The resounding sound of comparison. the resounding sound of comparison. Declan Rice
Who?
or Rodri?
Who?
Declan Rice.
What?
You
What?
are not on the same level as Rodri.
Where were you this whole match? Because we saw Rodri the whole match. Where was Declan? Oh, he was getting tackled by fucking Rodri. He was getting fucking shoved out of the way by Rodri. He was.
Can someone remind me how much they paid for him and how much we were going to pay for him?
They paid a shitload of fucking money.
A fucking shitload. For what?
Because this
They had the balls to flash the bullshit. They had the balls to flash their stats before the game, saying like it was legitimately a comparison between the two because they have similar pass completion, similar goals, similar assists. No.
Playing time. Games won. Games played.
Trophies
Can we
lifted.
acknowledge for a second that Arsenal paid a £100 million fee for Declan Rice?
Dude, that's so
player,
that's so much. That is so much. That is so much Nando's peri peri saka sauce.
I mean,
to
be fair,
like,
we bought Jack for £100 million. I'll give him his year, but like, I mean, Arsenal fans are acting like he's better than Rodri.
Like he's been better. Like he's been better.
And then okay, they're like, blah 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 blah. He has this many tackles in the Premier League. He has this and this and this. It's like, yeah, that's cute. Have you guys even made it to a Champions League semifinal?
You'll never sing that.
To a Champions League final.
You'll never sing that.
Has Declan Rice scored the winning goal in a Champions League final?
Champions of Europe. You'll never sing that.
So fuck right off with your £100 million guy that we paid like what? I think it was 63.70 maybe. He was expensive to people back then. And he is easily the best fucking defensive midfielder in the world. Fuck off, Arsenal. You are stupid if you believe that
okay, but did you actually see him playing defensive holding today? Because I didn't.
No.
He's been playing an 8 for them the entire time.
Right.
He's not playing a 6.
Exactly.
It's just stupid.
Well, they were
like you have Trossard, you have Havertz, who should be playing there.
Like Gabriel was fitting into the 6th role, and it's like, well, what do you
how
do for then? Like,
how do you put Havertz in for the 9 when you have Gabby who can play the 9?
Who wants to play the 9?
Yeah, exactly. Like it doesn't. I don't know what's.
If Gabby should be salty at anybody, he should be fucking salty at Arteta for not playing at his desired position when they don't have a fucking striker.
Not wrong.
Well, he left us to be the 9, right?
Right.
They can play him on the wing.
Right. And now you have a left midfielder playing that fucking position.
Because you're so shit at 9. Because you're so shit at 9.
Anyways, Declan Rice.
Well, boys, I think this is where we have to gather it up. Because honestly, I don't have enough fire left in my body to like I can't. I'm so mad at the world. I'm so mad at Anthony Taylor. I'm so mad that Arsenal people still believe that Declan Rice is better than Rodri. And I feel like we've exhausted what we have here.
Delusion is part of their one of their brands that they have at the bottling company. So I'm sure that will be on flow for this season.
Big facts.
On flow.
Drink it up. Where
the wine flows like the salmon of Capistrano.
Boom. Sorry. I gotta remember that.
All right, so final thing that we have on our final takes, Mr. Roy Keane, the biggest piece of shit commentator ever, called Holland a League Two player because he's not been on it, and there's a part of me that says I can't fault him for saying that, but I think that's a little harsh.
The funny thing about that is, who is leading the league in goals?
Goals? Is it
who was out for 2 months on injury for one thing,
and still held that
Holland, and but who is leading the league in goals
while missing all that time?
Erling Braut Haaland.
Months for injury. I mean, it's
Erling Braut Haaland.
And the beauty of that is it's not even like he's just leading the league.
Whoopsie.
He has a gap.
Yeah.
Like
he had 18.
Like
Salah's got 16.
They've had these 2 months to catch him.
And nobody's passed him yet.
And no one's passed him yet. And you're going to still act like he has no right to be?
That dude just set the record last year for fucking goals in the fucking Premier League, but now he's the League Two player
in his first season. In his first season in the Premier League,
he almost broke every single goal scoring record. He almost broke every single.
But he looked like a League Two player. Okay, buddy.
Well, guys, this does beg the question, though: is this the sophomore slump for Haaland?
No, it doesn't, because again, he is still leading the league in goals.
Even still having a down year. Say he walks out of this season with just 25, right?
No,
compared to what he had in all total comps last season. This is the sophomore slump, and it's still above everybody else. Yes. That's my point.
I'll put a tenner right now on he gets golden boot still.
I mean, the only person vying for that position right now is Mo Salah, and that's it.
Solanke's got 16 as well, but he's not passing people.
And what is Solanke? Is that the other second?
Yeah, and Ollie Watkins is up there pretty high, but they're not.
Well, Solanke and Watkins aren't going to make up the time in the next 9 matches.
Well, and Haaland is when he gets on one, he'll fucking put in 4 goals in a match.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just take one of those.
People have short memories and don't realize that this dude, when he gets on and he's on it, he's cranking them out. He's not just 1 here, 2 there. It's 3, 4, maybe 5 at a time.
No, this is not a sophomore slump. This is what I would call this is other clubs understanding how to defend them better, for one thing. And us not adjusting quite properly. So, no, it's not like him losing form. It's give us another fucking year and wait until next, because we're still going to beat the shit out of you this year. We're just not going to beat the shit out of you that well. So give us another year to figure out what you're doing to counteract us, and then we're going to beat the shit out of you again, but way worse again. And wait for it. Because Man City is nothing but a goddamn powerhouse.
Man City ain't nothing to fuck with.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing
to
fuck. All right, guys. So that wraps up this part of our show. We are now looking ahead at Villa on Wednesday. So very short week for us. It's going to be a short couple of weeks for us. We have 6 matches in what's up?
Liverpool played today too, right?
Yeah, allegedly.
Take a guess when their league game is midweek.
Thursday. Tomorrow.
It's Thursday. Imagine that they get a fucking break with the scheduling and get the extra day of rest. Wonder why that is.
Funny how that pans out. Yeah? Imagine it, motherfuckers.
Thanks, FA.
So we are now at the point where we're talking to the comments, and this has actually been the slowest night we've had in 28 live episodes, where It's empty. Just crickets. Y'all need to do better. 15 of you people are sitting in here not saying shit. Come on.
Drop one in there for us.
What's it gonna hurt? Are you scared?
No shit. Where are y'all motherfuckers at?
To fill a little time, I saw Bernardo's after match presser with Sky Sports.
Yeah.
And he said, we're not favorites anymore. We have to be realistic. I mean, a lot can happen. There's 7 games, right? And the reporter goes, it's 9, isn't it? And he goes, 9? Oh, that's better for us. So the Bernardo didn't even realize that we had 9 left. But when he was thinking, oh, we only got 7 matches, it's going to be tough. Oh, we have 9? I think we'll be okay. So that was interesting. That just popped up as I was scrolling on X while we were waiting, hopefully, for people to drop a comment or two in here for us.
Yeah. Shout out to all of our new followers on both X and Instagram. Our numbers are going up. It's nice to see. We appreciate the support. If you guys are in here tonight, thank you for showing up and sitting out with us on Easter night, where you probably could have been with your families. Maybe they weren't around. Sorry, but we're your family now. How about that? Does that work?
We love you. Absolutely. Whether you drop comments in here or not, we appreciate that you've been hanging with us for such a long period of time. So thank you very much. Whether you engage comment-wise or not, we appreciate y'all hanging with us and listening while you're doing whatever it is you're doing. We appreciate you.
Hopefully it's not naughty things. We don't. No,
it's been a naughty podcast, so I would not be surprised if some of his stuff going on.
Got to feed the geese every once in a while, yeah.
I knew you were going to say something that was going to make me laugh, which is why I pulled my drink back down, because I didn't want to spit fucking beer all over my screens. You had that look, and I was like, nope, not drinking right now. Exactly.
So, if you guys weren't here last week, we are going to be doing a new series starting in April. And it will be our fan series. So if you're a fan of the show, you're a fan of the club, you want to talk to us and talk bullshit about City, please hit us in the don't hit us in the comments. That's stupid. Hit us in the DMs or email us at snobbyboyspodcast@gmail.com. Get in contact with us. That way we can get a little bit of a chat going, get to know each other a little bit better, see how the vibe is. That's not to say that we're going to say, oh, well, we think you're a douchebag, so we're not going to leave you on. If you are being a douchebag, we're going to get you on, and we're just going to fucking roast you right here in front of everybody. So, just so you know. But no, our first guest that we'll be having on April 28th, will be Pat Weitzel. He is from the Houston area, mega super fan in the United States for our Manchester City. Looking extremely forward to having him on. I've been wanting to talk to him for a while. Just say that.
Absolutely.
Wow.
That's gonna be a fun chat.
And also, we are doing a little bit more with our fellow podcasters here in the community. We will be bringing on Bit of Banter podcast on April 21st to recap the FA Cup matchup against Chelsea. So we're looking forward. We're looking forward to having those lads on, our Arizona brethren.
We were on their show and it was a great time. So it's going to be a fun chat with those boys. They're good people, and I'm very much looking forward to chatting with them on our end. And if you haven't already, go check them out on their socials across different platforms, because they're a good listen. I've been listening to their tunes too. They're on Apple Music. There are some musicians there, and I wasn't aware of that, and been jamming to some of their tunage.
It really upsets me knowing this on hindsight, considering they used to live out there. If I would have just at some point in time, it probably may have happened. I don't know. I actually don't know the age gap between us. But it's very possible that I could have run into these guys at any given open mic night in the Eastern Phoenix area, because I spent a lot of nights with a particular band. They used to open up, the lead guitarist, he used to open up with his band, the Moody, I believe they're called the Moody Blues. They used to open up for the Gin Blossoms. If you guys don't remember the 90s band, the Gin Blossoms.
Hell yeah.
They're actually from Tempe. I got to meet their guitarist Scott for knowing this guy Josh. Super cool. He actually gave me my first Cherry acoustic guitar. So that was pretty cool. But I don't want to sit here and toot my horn. That's not what we're here for. But yeah, great guys. I wish I would have had the time to meet them and get in with them because their music is really good. If you're into if you're into the heavier rock, go get some. Go get some. I believe Greg. He also he does a little bit more on the acoustic end, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, he actually reminds me a lot of this guy Kyle that I used to hang out with in Tucson. Not that one. That one because that dude's not. He has no musical inclination whatsoever. He's really good at picking music. He's really. Dude, when have you ever played a fucking instrument? Let's be real. Yeah.
I'm pretty good with drums, and I'm really good with handbells. Let's just say that.
Handbells.
Dude, I was gnarly at handbells. I could play a whole octave by myself.
So's your pre-K niece.
No, not the same. Dude, there were 6 of us, and we played like 5 octaves together. Like it was gnarly. We played.
Were you anyway. Were you the Tone Rangers of drums?
Dude, basically.
If you don't know who the Tone Rangers are, you need to watch The Breakup again.
Exactly. But it was we were really fucking talented, honestly. But no, right after whatever the fuck happened with Joe.
I'm done. I'm fucking the Tone Rangers just fucking got me. God damn it.
Yeah.
I fucking love that movie.
Whatever.
God damn it. That was my empties. My empty beer bottles were flacking around because I'm laughing so hard. God damn it.
Excuse me?
We're going to use this room, okay? We are allowed to use this room. We're the Tone Rangers.
My God.
Anyway.
Come.
Thank
on
you
the bass drum. Come.
Come on the kick drum, come. Oh, if we get booted off of YouTube for
Justin City podcast,
right? Clearly not. I mean, shit. The bit of Banner Boys named our episode. It was something about meth, which I fucking found hilarious because I know way too many people in Arizona that went off that deep end. So. Anyways,
funny, but
I mean that wasn't exactly funny, but it's funny to me on a personal level.
There you go, Colby. You had a question earlier in the episode about how to, deal with a team who plays a low block.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear Pep's answer to that question in the post game presser?
Give it to me.
He said he looked at the guy with one of these looks, and he said, "Kill someone." Fucking dead serious too.
You get not one, not two,
and that's
not
why
three.
He is our fucking
deadpan look. It was just kill someone.
Sorry, I gotta really like it.
He deeply meant that too, didn't he?
Deeply
meant that.
Oh my God.
All right, you snobby assholes. We are out of here. It's been real. Happy Easter. And we'll see you next week for Villa recap. As well as do we have another game that weekend? I think we do. I put the calendar up. If you saw, you did. We'll see you then next Sunday, as usual, 7:15.
Party on Wayne.
Get all up in your ear about Manchester City. Until then, I'm gonna leave you guys with a little bit of
like, subscribe.
Man United. It's getting bigger every time we play. Man United! Man United!
Man United!